MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And then it was Thursday. Good morning. About 43 now as we climb to a high of 79. Was yesterday not perfect?
I know, it was a beautiful day. I wish I could have been out in my yard doing some stuff, trying to get it looking better, but
I have
the case.
gotten to where I spent a lot of time at my desk and computer all day, so I decided, I needed to go for a walk, because if you stay behind a desk, you could gain a whole lot of weight. Mm-hmm. So I grabbed old Sophie and put a leash on her, and off we went. Mm-hmm. And she pulled me for about that first mile.
Really?
When we turned around and come back, I thought I was going to have to tote her. She was not really. She was like, call somebody with a golf cart. Come on.
What have you done to me? Why did you take me on this adventure?
But it was funny how she was just rambunctious off and going to the races. And then once we got on down the road, she wasn't so happy about it. She was tired.
Yeah. Speaking of dogs, last night I got the bright idea that I was going to play with our dogs, because when they'll sit at the back door. And if they hear that somebody around the edge of the house, they'll kind of sneak around there and start barking at them. And so they don't even realize it's us if we were behind the bush or something. Sneaking.
They just know it's something.
So I was going to play with them last night. So then I ran around the edge of the house and I was going to run up on the deck and just kind of
spook them
a little bit just to be funny. Well, guess what? My foot caught the top step.
You busted it?
And down I went. I mean, it was like I couldn't stop it. It was just like a
all ladylike.
I have a skint knee. It was it hurt, but then I was sitting there just laughing.
You can't help but laugh at
I know.
yourself.
And Kurt comes out, he goes, "Are you okay?" It was so embarrassing, and I was out there by myself, and I was embarrassed. That's how bad it was.
That's bad. And this goes to that reason, and I used to teach this when I was in safety. Never walk with your hands in your pocket, because you cannot, when you go down, you can't get your elbow up to protect your face. And if you got when it's cold, how you keep your hands in your pocket, that's what happens.
Yeah, I felt like I was, you feel like you're in slow motion.
Oh, yeah.
When you're falling and you can't stop.
It would have been worse had 10 people witnessed it.
Yes, it would. It would have been very bad. But speaking of my face actually hit the deck. I'm surprised I don't have a bruise.
And I don't mean anything ugly by what I'm just to say, but I'll bring it up. But 15 years ago, I was at a copier machine, and it was a very nicely dressed lady, dressed to the hilt, with her nice skirt on, and somehow or another she tripped. And it was slow motion as she went in the air, and the skirt went up in the air, and boom. On the ground. She was. That would have been bad. I felt for her. It's like, oh, let me put my head down. I could feel her pain.
Right. Yeah, that would have been bad.
Speaking
I've had many embarrassing moments.
We all have.
Yeah, I've had many.
It's life.
They would falling. Yeah. 3 of which were in public. So yeah, that was bad. But anyway.
High school, I remember wearing different shoes that didn't match because I was sleepy when I left and I wasn't paying attention. It's little things like that that'll get you.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like walking out of the bathroom with toilet paper stuck to the bottom of your foot or something. Yeah.
Jackie Gleason, Smokey and the Bandit. Sir. Then she rolls it all back up. That was funny.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw this a minute ago, and I want to say congratulations to Bill. I couldn't help but notice this, but we were talking about dogs, and he got a new pup, and there it is.
It's so cute.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Mini Pearl, right? Isn't that the name of the dog?
That's what he's calling it there.
Cute.
So
I guess that's a Chihuahua.
I don't know.
It looks kind of like a little Chihuahua.
Thought he was going for the RCA dog there for a moment, or was it what was the dog from Little Rascals that had the spot on the eye? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember the dog, but it's a cute little dog.
There's nothing like a dog. If you're sitting out there and you think, well, I'm lonely, a dog is one of the best companions that you can have.
Yeah, when I fell last night, mine were all around my face, up in my face, and I was just like. Anyway,
a dog will like you when no one else does.
Yeah.
Always remember that.
That's right.
We got a happy anniversary there to mention.
Happy anniversary, Don Lewis says to his wife of 49 years.
Lena.
Don and Lena Lewis.
Wow, 49 years and still doing time. That ain't over yet.
Next year's the big 50-year mark.
Oh, yeah, you get a big cake and all kinds of stuff.
You gotta have a big old to-do. You do.
Yeah.
It's a milestone. Yeah.
That is a.
But happy anniversary. We hope y'all have a wonderful day.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see here. Jenny's joining us. Where's she coming from?
Philadelphia, Mississippi. Jenny McKay.
Yeah, appreciate that. Barbara Vick
And Bill
joining.
says it is a Chihuahua.
A Chihuahua, yeah. And give him kudos for being able to spell Chihuahua.
Those little dogs think they're giants.
Wasn't that the Taco Bell dog? Wasn't he a Chihuahua?
I think so. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So there you go.
They think they're like big dogs.
Right.
They're real brave. Mm-hmm.
So there you go. A few things going on. Well, what went on yesterday around the community? One of the first things that we do show you was there was an accident with a bus yesterday. And we go out to the southeast area. School was getting out to go to the ball games in Jackson. Mm-hmm. A school bus left and someone run into the back of the school bus. Kids were okay. The person that bumped them, I think, went to the emergency room. But all kids were okay. That's a
good thing.
It's scary when you start dealing with kids, and it'll catch you off guard there. Now, the next big thing was you had just left, and I started getting calls. Or maybe you hadn't even made it out of here.
Yeah. It was right before I left is when you got the call about this.
Someone got struck by a car yesterday, and it ended up being a worker for the Mississippi Department of Transportation. And as we pull this up, this is where this happened, right on the outskirts of Meridian on Highway 493 at Windsor Drive. You take a left there, and that would take you over to Pine Springs. Bumped by a car. He was flagging traffic is what he was doing.
Okay.
Now, do I know why the car bumped him? I don't know.
Well, you know, there's a hill right there, too.
Yeah.
A bad hill.
And a curve there from Button Gun.
Mm-hmm. But if it's the Windsor Road, if it was where it met the road, 493, there's a bad hill right there. So if somebody was coming over, I don't know what the deal was, but I'm glad he's going to be.
He was released from the hospital later, but he was checked out, and that's a good thing. Pay attention. Those flaggers will jump out when you're not when you got your mind somewhere else, and there they are. Mm-hmm. But thank goodness he's okay.
Yes.
And I mentioned this morning, Highway 49, not here, in another town. A lady was killed yesterday walking in the state of Mississippi on the edge of the road, getting her exercise. 47-year-old lady, no longer is here with us because of that.
So sad.
Be careful. There's a lot of responsibility behind that wheel.
Yeah. In a lot of areas, like especially in rural areas, there's not a whole lot of, room on the side of the road.
Well, aren't they working, and that's what they're doing there?
I think they're working on something. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of room to walk.
And there's a lot of roads that edge there. If you run your tire off just a little bit, you know how they'll have that depth.
It'll pull you on off the road.
Yeah, and you're...
Yeah, it's hard to get back on if the curve is too high.
Then you mix a little rain in with that, and then it's a wreck, bad wreck, quick.
Yes.
Something to think about there.
Just be extra careful.
Yeah. Jenny Davis made a comment that I have to agree with her 100%.
What?
Dogs really know a good person from a bad person. They do. They know 100%. If a dog acts funny around somebody, better watch them.
Well, I don't know. Sophie hadn't had anything to do with me in the last month. I think it's probably because when I back my chair up, sometimes she's behind me, and I might have ran over her tail or something.
She has, instead of staying in the studio lately, has made her way at the door.
Yeah, she won't come in.
Guests have been going, okay, I don't want to come up there now. She's sitting there staring at you at the door.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, she really hadn't hung out in the studio in a while.
I know. Maybe it's me.
No, it's happened when you're not here also.
Okay.
So she's maybe it's cool sitting there on the hardwood there at the top of the stairs.
She can hear what's going on in here, and she can hear what's going on there elsewhere, maybe.
MPD is asking for your help with 911 calls as we go back to our webpage. And if you haven't visited there yet, Sam Media Network is where you need to go. As we look here, what you go is sammedia.network, SAMEDIA, and you'll find all the news stories and things that are going on in and around the area. And they're asking for help with 911 calls. The amount of calls they get are a lot. I understand that. And what they're saying is non-emergency calls to come into 601-485-6845. That would be if you just heard a gunshot. You don't know that anything's happened. If you know someone's been shot, you would call the other 911 number. And as I mentioned earlier, people are creatures of habit. Is that? Nah, I don't really see that taking effect. People, it's by habit. You call that.
Call 911.
Yeah, it is an emergency, in my opinion, when you hear a gunshot. because you don't know if someone's been hurt.
Right.
But that's what they're asking. But to me, it's, I just look at it a little differently. I understand the manpower.
Just write the number down and post it by the phone if you.
But you can read more about that. They made some more arrests. The CID department there yesterday arrested 5 people, aging from anywhere from 38 to 51 years old, doing things they shouldn't be doing. And you can also read that story on our webpage there. Right there, all of these arrests. They've been investigating these crimes and finally put a lid on it. Made some arrests. Congratulations. Glad they got that accomplished yesterday. Let's see, a car chase last night.
Another one.
Yeah, it's pretty common. Blue lights went on, and I'm trying to picture this of a Kia, a Soul. Is that the car that they used to do the commercial with the little rats driving?
The hamsters in it.
Yeah, hamsters. Yeah. This is what they were driving. I don't think it has a whole lot of horsepower. I'm just thinking out loud here. It's 3 of them piled in there. MPD all behind them. They keep running red lights. And the car was just too much car for them. They lost control and wrecked into a house.
Oh, Lord. And
then they thought, well, we don't need to wait on the police to get out, so they commenced to running. Right there. It all happened on the 2400 block of 41st Street. But as I put in the news article, they just can't compete because we need to get some games in Meridian and put the Meridian PD in. The 100-yard dash, they lost to the Meridian Police Department. They were taken down, arrested, got a ride downtown. They're going to get a free meal this morning out of it, though.
They will?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll post a picture of the car in the house. I've gotten a picture of the house, and we'll post that. I'm going to ask the owner of the picture if it's okay to put it to where everybody else can see what happened to his home. That has to be a weird feeling. You're sitting in your living room and
I'm glad nobody was hurt.
Like it was in Philadelphia.
Right. I mean, I'm just glad nobody was hurt or injured.
But that'll jar you up. I was on the radio a few minutes ago with Bill Smith. He called me and we done an interview there. And I asked Bill, I said, hey, Bill, were you anywhere last night around Grandview? Can you tell me where you were? He goes, well, I was home. I said, do you own a Sawzall? No? Well, if you were, there were some catalytic converters borrowed last night from underneath a car. Shame. Yeah. This is becoming, you just told me something I didn't know.
Yes, we were talking about this the other day, me and one of my clients, and they mentioned to me that somebody a while back was fishing, like in one of the lakes.
Right.
And where they had parked their vehicle. They come back to find out that their catalytic converter had been taken off while they were fishing.
That's just bad.
That's just, it's crazy. The people are just brave to go out in broad daylight, and do stuff like that.
A lot of this has to do with the national headlines of the defund the police and, well, we don't respect them anymore. We'll do what we want.
Yeah.
What's the worst they can do to me? Turn me out in a couple hours?
Right.
That's the way criminals look at things. And until we start getting judges and laws passed, I think we already got the laws. We just need the judges to stand up and go, no, you're not getting out of jail. Handle this. We'll put a stop to it then. But until then, we're going to be dealing with things like this every day.
That's right. And, all this stuff going on over with the Russian stuff, and I know that's out of our little range of what we're talking about a little bit. But I just feel like it's a test. To see exactly how far they can go before nobody really does anything.
I got some more comments coming up on that of testing, and what do y'all think of that? So don't go anywhere on that thought. We're going to dig deep into that this morning. Let's talk about out in Center Hill and the curve. What do you see? You see this blue sign when you pass every day, and what is it? It's Chet's Paint and Body. Well, behind that door is a lot of folks that you're going to like. You'll end up being friends with them because they do their job right. And I like to have friends that do good at what they do, and that's what happens at Chet's. If you need your car fixed, he's the first name you need to think of. A few cars that have been damaged, and boy, that one sure got it. They fixed that no time flat. 737-2961. Car damage on the front end. As we go through these pictures, a Ford F-150 that's been sideswiped. Going to have to have a new Nerf bar before it's over as well. They made this truck look absolutely perfect the way it did when it come from the factory. Front end damage, several cars there that's had that. As you keep going, it's just I hate to use the word array, but boy, it's a big selection of damage out there.
It is.
And they're returning cars to the way they should look. You don't have to worry about your color not matching your car and it being oddball looking in the parking lot. It's going to look right. If they say they're going to do it, they stand behind their work. Chet's Paint and Body. You'll find it all there. Insurance claims welcome. They'll help you with that. A friend is waiting there. See them today, 737-2961. See them. They'll help you. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike and Jake have years of experience of dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
On June 30th, 2021, the FDA alerted the public that Philips recalled certain CPAP devices due to concerns regarding its polyester-based polyurethane sound abatement foam. This is a Class 1 recall, the most serious type of recall. Use of these devices may cause serious injuries or death. If you're diagnosed with long-term, permanent, and life-threatening health complications, your illness may be linked to your use of a Philips breathing device, and you may be entitled to compensation. Call Richard Swartz & Associates for a case evaluation today.
Still in the 40s as we wait for that sunshine and nearly 80 degrees today throughout the air, no matter where you're watching from. That's kind of what's coming your way.
Yeah, you might need your jacket this morning, but you shouldn't later on, I don't think.
Keep that Hawaiian flowery shirt. Tank tops are starting to be popular again in the state of Mississippi and Alabama. Yeah. We go to Winston County, to the Louisville area next for our next subject. And we pull this up. MBI has already put this out that a missing man is there. The Winston County Sheriff's Department all over this as well. This gentleman is missing. He's been missing since the 27th in the Louisville area. He's 65 years old, and a civil alert has been issued there. His name is Charles Lester Lampley. Last seen February 27th. And we pull up his picture there where you can get a better view of him. If you've seen him anywhere, in a store confused, and that happens. Right. We don't know the backstory of why he went missing. Is it didn't take his medicine? I don't know. Medicine has an effect on people.
Yeah, they said that he suffers from a condition, so that could impair his
judgment. Let's hope all is well, but that's 5 days he hadn't been seen.
Hope he's found safe, for sure.
I definitely do. Well, let's go to Clark County. They're looking for somebody for a different reason in Clark County. If you haven't visited the Clark County Sheriff's Department page lately, well, they want someone. We loaded this yesterday afternoon. Let me pull this up so you can see this. This young lady is wanted by the Sheriff's Department there, Jessica Miller. As you look at a bigger picture of her, she's wanted for felony, you pronounce that word, macalculous mischief?
Malicious.
Malicious.
I think it's malicious.
Malicious. Yeah, I said that wrong, didn't I? Call 776-1385 is the number to call if you happen to have seen her in Clark County somewhere. Malicious, macalculous. Listen to me and my English today.
It's okay. You hadn't had your eyes done yet.
Yeah, I messed that one up, didn't I? Whoops. And welcome. You never know what will happen live. You just can't help. The next thing that we want to talk about is this new stop sign that was put in yesterday. And I talked about this at 6:30. But if you're at that new Walmart on Highway 39, and you're thinking, boy, I like a new suit from Harry Mayer over there, and you hang a right and you end up at a stop sign. It used to be it was just a two-way stop. Today, it is a four-way stop. And I think I got the picture of this pulled up where we can take a look at this. I don't, but we're going to.
Coming down from 10th Avenue?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's look at the pictures from this as we go to the website. This is the view here. This is 33rd, and this is 10th right here.
Right. So if you turn on North Hill Street on 10th, right in front of the fire department right there, it'll take you to that.
Here's another view of this. This is looking from 33rd over here, I think, where they have a camper parked in their yard. A different look there. And 33rd and 10th. It's a four-way stop now.
Okay.
Don't run it.
It should be, because that's kind of hard to get, it gets crowded right there.
It does.
And it's kind of like you're just taking your life into your own hands trying to go across there sometimes.
There's been more wrecks you can shake a stick at there. We had a bad one there the other afternoon.
Yeah, and it would have been nice to have had that the other day when everybody was having a detour because of something going on, the wreck, and maybe something working on something. Yeah.
People were just sitting there and sitting there.
It was lines of people, yes. So.
Don't forget a new addition that we've added here is the fire runs in Meridian. If you'd like to know what the Meridian Fire Department does, visit our webpage there. We've got this, and it's the daily incidents, and it tells you everywhere the fire department went. Tells you all about it, what the number was, who responded. You'll learn a little something there.
Yeah. And as we know, it's not always a fire. Sometimes they've gotten called to a medical emergency or something too. So.
Getting a cat out of a tree, that's pretty common, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they still do that?
I don't know. I'm sure they probably would, I guess. I had a scare yesterday. It looked like I was behind I don't know who it was because the windows were, dark, but it was like a fire truck, not a fire truck, but the big Suburban type thing that has all the lights flashing on it. It went all the way. I followed it all the way almost to my road.
Really?
It was to my road, and I was thinking, well, I don't see smoke, so I don't know what's going on, but I hope wherever they were headed to, everything was okay.
Now that you bring that up, we were talking about the cat, and I jokingly said about that. There's a guy in the state of Mississippi, and we need to interview him. And he's retired, and he does one thing and one thing only now. He rescues cats.
Really? And
you'd be shocked how long a cat will sit in a tree that's scared. He's rescued them that's been there sitting there a week and wouldn't come down.
Oh, my goodness.
He climbs them. Doesn't charge anything. I think he may take a donation if you want to do that, but he doesn't charge anything. If you've got a cat, and he videos the whole thing up and down, and it's interesting as all get out.
And I would think a cat would go way up in the tree, so sometimes he would probably have to go on up there. And
way up there. There's several ways to watch us, and I've mentioned this before. But let me show you this. If you've never watched us from the YouTube side, we're on television, we're on Facebook, and a lot of other places. But here's our YouTube channel. If you want to join us here, it's always a good clear signal there. Sam Media Network is what you look up, and then you just click subscribe. That's our live right there. You could click that, and that would be us right now. It'll confuse us if I click it.
I know.
I can't do it. I can't watch myself at the same time.
I know. I can't either. I was trying to do that one day when I had to. I think it was when everybody was. Well, I don't know if I was quarantined. I don't remember.
You couldn't get here?
Yeah, I couldn't get here. I was trying to do the show by watching it and talking and.
It's. I'm telling y'all, it's like being at the Ralph Morgan Rodeo. If you have never stood in that arena with a microphone and you talk and
that it echoes.
7 seconds later you hear what you said. It's not quite 7. It's about 4, I think. But you have to block that out and continue talking with what you're talking about and pay no attention to what's coming back to your ear.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Mike Mathis has got it going on. Let me tell you what an announcer that is to do that for hours upon end.
Yeah.
You'll say the wrong thing because it's confusing.
That would be, because I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, so that would really confuse me.
We've all
it sounded
done
like
that.
I had background noise.
But that's just another way of watching us, and I hope you'll do that. And we have to say thank you to everybody that joins us each day that does this. We can't do it without y'all.
Yes.
Y'all make this show, joining us each day, and your comments just really add to it each and every day. So thank y'all so much.
Yes.
As we
appreciate y'all.
Yeah. I wanted to say again, let me pull this up here where I know what I'm doing. I want to say thank you to a new sponsor that's joining us today. We say Home Instead Senior Care. Thank y'all for being a part of the show and coming aboard. Appreciate that a whole lot there. Let's see, what you doing this afternoon, girl?
Working.
That's all?
Yeah. Today's my long day, and then, of course, I'll be going to ball practice after that. We have ball practice every Thursday evening.
Every
Thursday and Sunday, yes.
We have this morning, the fire departments were busy. Now, yesterday afternoon, Homestead, we've got that also where you can look at those fires. And of course, right now they're asking you not to do controlled burns or do a brush fire. Hang off on that. This morning early, here we go. This was right at daylight. There's a lot of volunteer fire departments that had to drag out of bed before daylight and go find a fire truck. Out on Causeyville Road where Skyline Road reaches. About 2 to 3 acres was on fire out there as they fought that fire. I think it's under control now, but that was an early morning thing. If you heard sirens in the area out in there, that's what was going on.
Because, and even if you burn I've heard people, well, I'm going to burn in this barrel or I'm going to burn in this little fire pit. I mean, a spark can
it sure
get out
can.
and land somewhere else and can start a fire too. So I wouldn't even do that.
Homestead Road was the other fire that we had yesterday afternoon. It was whooping it up. The Forestry Service had to come out and help with that, and that involves.
No, that's out by past the industrial park.
Right.
Out that one.
Had to fire up some bulldozers and block it off where those fires can't expand. That's what happens there. And then, of course, that wreck we had yesterday morning, as we scrambled there at the end to tell you all about it. Right. But this was the scene yesterday morning out past Bonita Lakes. Let me pull this up and show you here. We got some video there that we'll click on in a second. But here's the scene. Let's look at a few of these pictures.
Now, this was by the Willow Ridge apartment area, which I guess they're still called Willow Ridge. But,
As you go through there, that was pretty nasty there. Hope everything is okay. They were taken to the hospital, but always scary when you stumble upon these wrecks like that.
Yes,
And this is where, as we go back to that, I have to say kudos to all first responders, because I could not do that. I'd pass out.
Probably would.
Ooh, somebody cut their finger, flop.
Look, I panic. If somebody's choking, I'm like banging on their back and freaking out. I do.
I was never the one to feed Dylan Ray or Madison as a baby, because it always scared me that if they were to choke, I wouldn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. My kids never were able to. I never allowed them to have hard candy or like any kind of hard candy at all. It just scared me.
And they're 30 now.
I mean, literally never. Yeah. Never. Even like I was like, I'm not giving it to you. No.
It can go down wrong there.
That's scary.
There you go there. Let's see here. As we look at a few headlines, we've got a Republican that is, not going to rerun. He's in trouble. He got caught fooling around on his wife. Didn't look too good for him. Republican Representative Van Taylor has dropped out of his bid for re-election yesterday after a 9-month affair was called out, and he was busted.
So go back up.
Okay.
It says after admitting to having a 9-month affair with ex-jihadist who went to Syria, known as an ISIS bride.
Didn't work out too well for him.
No, it did not.
His wife and everybody knows that. And if you're wondering what's he look like, let's pull up a picture so you can take a look at him here. That's him. He's not running for re-election. He's going to fade away into the sunset, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think on down this morning, we got some news stories. I think it's the 31st Democrat that announced that they're not going to be rerunning, that they are bidding out. There's a whole bunch not running. So after all the smoke is cleared, what'd you hear yesterday in just small talk about the speech that Joe gave?
Well, everybody pretty much had the same thing to say, is that he didn't address some of the issues that he should have addressed, And what he was saying was just so bogus. I mean, some of the stuff like buying American, like I mentioned yesterday, and securing the borders, and stuff that it sounded like one of the speeches that he gave before he became president, just to get in there. And then it was like a total opposite once he got into office. So I feel like he's just so low in the polls, and they're just grasping at straws, and we're trying to be as positive sounding as they could be. But it didn't add up with the track record that he's had so far.
They call that being with the catfish when you're right there. You're hanging with the catfish at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think most people agree with that. And there are going to be some that disagree with us, and we'd love to hear from you. You can post your comment. We'd love to hear that. Let's see here. A JetBlue pilot has been pulled out of the cockpit. Why? Oh, yeah, he was drunk. 4 times the legal limit. How he got in the cockpit to begin with, we don't know, but thank goodness he was caught before the plane took off.
Oh, yeah.
He probably doesn't have a job this morning. I wonder if this was in Florida, is where that, in Orlando is where that happened.
Yeah, that's scary, because what if he had not?
Is it going to reach a point to where, like the people that are excessively getting DUIs, where they have to have that blower for the car to be able to drive their car?
Yeah.
Is it going to get to where it deals with commercial airlines, to where the pilot has to lean over and blow in a tube before the plane will fire up?
I think it should be a mandatory thing. I do. I think it should be. And some people go, that's against well, so what? You do it anyway. If you don't have anything to worry about, what are you worried about doing it?
A plane is not like a car where you can pull over on the side of the road and go, let this person drive.
Yeah, I'm going to let you out.
Yeah. But once that plane goes up, it could be disastrous.
You better sit back, hold on, and pray.
Yeah. Let's see here. The buddy law died yesterday at the state capitol. And what the buddy law was a law that they were going to be able to, if it were to pass, to where if you had a child that done something that was done to like Buddy the dog, the child could be taken for psychiatric evaluation to find out what was wrong. The law died. odds are it'll come back up again. But that version of the law did not make it through it. The new rape law died also, and it was the wording that killed it. They couldn't agree on the way it was. The law now has a lot of 1,800 words that are no longer used, and it was going to be updated. And within that law is between a husband and wife of what is considered rape, and they could not agree upon that. That's why it died. It will come back up again in a new form, but it did not pass the way it was yesterday. Things like that kind of do matter there.
Let me say this when we're talking about what people were talking about after the speech the other night.
Back to
that.
State of the Union address?
Yeah, the State of the Union. Yesterday, I was watching on the news yesterday evening, and they were talking about Joe Biden had given a speech somewhere, and everybody in the room had to wear masks. But yet, nobody had to wear masks in the room, the State of the Union. And, they talk about people more worried about getting the virus as people who are elderly people. And they were talking about how many people in that room were above the age of 60, 70 something years old,
If I am not mistaken, at the last minute, they passed a resolution to where they didn't have to wear the mask at the State of the Union thing. And of course, it was.
Well, that's fine. And
right.
I think they should have not had to wear it. But they're so worried
True.
about people getting sick and so, worried about them wearing a mask. And I just think that,
it was a lot of talk of that.
Look better to not wear it. And then the very next day, he's got everybody in the room wearing a mask.
Yeah, do what you're going to do.
It's crazy.
It's time for this to go away. Ole Miss has dropped it. They're dropping their mask mandate. City of Jackson by St. Patrick's Day will drop it.
I saw where Ron DeSantis, there was a group of young people who all had these masks on when he walked up. He was fixing to give a speech or something somewhere. And he walked up and he said, "Get those things off. Y'all all look ridiculous."
No, that's good.
So they start taking their mask off,
I read an article yesterday of the fastest growing counties across the state of Mississippi. Who all's moving in, who's moving out.
Right.
Lauderdale County didn't make it at all. Clark County did get honorable mention at 49. It had an increase of people that have moved to Clark County, so congratulations to them. As you go down to the number one county in the state of Mississippi that had more people moving in it than any other is DeSoto County, Mississippi. They're up population change of 30,000 people. Pretty strong there.
I wonder what the crime rate there is.
We'll
Must
have to
be a lower crime rate or something.
Yeah, we've lost folks in Lauderdale County.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. The city even more. Back when I first started in radio, it was, I want to say, right at the 50,000 mark within the city limits, 49, 50, somewhere along in there. We're at around 80,000 people in the county and city together that live in the county. I don't have the numbers in front of me of Lauderdale County of the pluses and minuses, but it's out there. The new census information is out.
Okay.
So there you go there. Now, we talked a minute ago, and we're going to come back to this in just a second and talk about what's going on in Ukraine. We'll dig more into this. There's a lot needs to be said. We're going to get into this in just a moment. So don't rush out. This morning is fun. Can you believe 8:30 already?
I know it. 8:33.
So be careful. We'll be right back with more information. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Mississippi sweet potatoes, 69 cents a pound. Florida strawberries, $2.99. Heinz squeezable ketchup, 32 ounce, $3.49. Skippy peanut butter, 16.3 ounce, 2 for $5. Baby back ribs, $5.99 a pound. And certified Angus beef top sirloin steak, $7.49 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
And welcome back to Scotty Ray and Candace as we take you through your Thursday morning. Before we get into Ukraine there and what's going on, let's go back and take a look at a few things that happened on history. Jay Leno had nothing to do with anything today.
Yeah.
Not an air thing. 1931, and this is shocking that it was just that few years ago. You would think, well, this has been around forever. Well, not the case. As we look at 1931, the Star Spangled Banner became the official national anthem of the United States. Now, it was in circles before that, but would be on paper beginning in 1931. Francis Scott Key started out as a poem, and, well, we know the rest from there. Pretty neat little thing there. This was a big deal, and there's a misspelled word here that I just caught before I throw this up. But you're in prison. You got a lot of time on your hand. You get to go to the woodworking thing to pass the time. Well, this old boy thought, well, let me carve me out a fake pistol. He did it. He used it to break out of prison on this day in 1934. John Dillinger, public enemy number one. He broke out with that. He put it in the guard's back, and they let him go. They thought it was real. It would be later, after he was captured, that they would discover all that. One of the greatest songs that George Jones ever done would be recorded on this date. He walked into the studio, and it's still played today. In 1962, George Jones recorded "She Thinks I Still Care," just because I asked a friend about her. Oh, just because I called her name and called her number by mistake. Things like that happen.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
You just used to calling them, and next thing you're going, hey, what are you doing? And that, I guess that kind of led into the Ricky Van Shelton song, Somebody Lied. Hello, yeah, this is me. And it just walks through it. No, I ain't been crying in public about you. 1972, it wasn't one of my favorite songs, but a lot of people loved it. It made him millions upon millions of dollars with his flamboyant look. It would be known as Rocket Man, was released on this date.
He is different. For sure.
Flamboyant. You can't miss him there with the windshield wipers. He may not wear that stuff anymore, but...
Yeah. Used to, though, he was dressed...
with the feathers.
You know, I don't know, extravagantly.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see here. 1991, we would watch television and see this going on in L.A., and it would lead to bad things in America. It would lead to riots and burning of L.A. This was the date that Rodney King was beat by the L.A. Police Department. This is when it all happened. Years later, Rodney King would be found dead in a swimming pool. But made a lot of changes.
That was a horrible thing.
It was.
They pulled him out of that truck and beat. I mean, that was horrible.
And then that led to worse things happening, of the riots and the fires. One of the first times in America, it happened back in the 60s, but in my lifetime, that was the first time I saw things like that happen. 2002, it would be a big day in Houston as George Strait would step on a stage, and there would be 68,000 people there to watch him. Think about that. 68,000 people to watch you.
That's a lot.
Houston Livestock Rodeo is where it was, and he broke the record at that time. I'm not sure if it's been broken since then, but George set the bar in 2002.
I think he could still draw that many people in.
Don't get any better than him. It really doesn't. That's a few things that went on this day. It wasn't as much today as it has been in the past and other things. All right, we brought up Ukraine, and I've heard several pastors talk on this to say that this is just eye candy, what's going on in Ukraine, that they really want this bigger. Pat Robertson, you know who I'm talking about? Now, the news article, you go back, and he also said one time that I don't know if it was an asteroid was coming to destroy the world, which gives doubt to... If you're going to be a critic, you have to be fair. He said some things that didn't work out. Said an asteroid was going to destroy the world one time. But Pat Robertson, and I bring this up, I normally wouldn't even go there after a remark like that. But I've heard other pastors make this comment to where this is bigger than you think, what's going on in Ukraine. That although the war is north, the big picture is to draw Israel in this and make it a world war.
Yeah, I think they're waiting. That's what I was saying. I feel like it's a test. I mean, I think it's a test to see just how far they can go and try to get other people to step in. And once they step in, that's when it's on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when it's going to be like a third world war, I feel like.
And that would be what they call revelations in the Bible. Maybe y'all have studied up on this a little bit more than me. What's your thoughts on this? Is it leading to that? And I, for one, I've read all this story to where you've got Russian soldiers in the streets crying, and I don't fall for that. This man is too smart for that. I think that is propaganda, And they've told these soldiers to go do that to make them look weak, and you underestimate your enemy. He's a mastermind at these types of things.
And two, from what I've been saying for a while, and also this morning somebody else said on the news, that they're in this hand in hand with China.
Oh,
Russia is.
yeah.
They've got the backing from China. If we cut off their financial stuff, I truly believe that China would fund them to be able to finish doing whatever they want to do.
They will.
And, China has bought land within this country. I mean, tons of it. Been buying up for a while. There's warships off the coast. I mean, it's just, I feel like that it is a lot worse than what we think.
I don't want anybody to think I'm some doomsdayer or anything.
But
I'm saying watch what's going on. We all know what is written, how the end will be, just whenever that will happen. Just stay aware of what's going on in the news. And eventually they will set their sights on Israel. And then if Joe is in office, will he step up and protect like the other presidents have in the past? We would hope so. But boy, it's just so shocking of the people across America and the people that have been elected that don't agree with that anymore.
Yeah.
It just, God's chosen people. It's written. Y'all look up on that. The January 6th committee has voted, and they said, and again, I think this is all propaganda as it goes into stuff, that they believe there was criminal conspiracy within the January 6th riot.
Oh, I do too, but I think it was on a lot of the
on the other side
part.
of the aisle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is another way they will try to go after him of their report to make him look bad because there's an election coming up. Just small thoughts. Doesn't mean it's true. That's just an opinion. Maybe you have a different opinion than me. Let's see. They were going back some of the fact checks of his speech the other night. That's nothing to that.
Well, this is the thing, the speech. When Nancy, when she stood up, when he was talking about something going on in Afghanistan and people being like pollution and stuff from the different things, people not being... You know what I'm saying? When she stood up and was doing like this.
I didn't hear what she was saying.
Weird,
I saw that.
Well, I think they had copies of the speech, and she knew where he was supposed to be at in the speech. And
Correct.
I think the next thing was supposed to be something that she could really stand up and clap on and all that. Well, he didn't go there.
He went AWOL, so to speak.
He went different, in a different direction, and so she looked totally crazy.
A military analyst, going back to what we were just saying there, named Bill Roggio, says, do not believe what is being said about them being weak and can't. I think it's a stage of the 40-mile thing of taking their time there. It draws it out. It makes them look like maybe they don't know what they're doing and gives the illusion that they're not strong. They are very strong. They've been planning this for years. Never, as they say, underestimate your enemy. Never do that. We did have one of the first big cities fall last night. Two of them there. Ukraine, one of the larger cities, have fallen. They've got their sights set on the capital today. More troops and more troops are surrounding the city. And you have to give the Ukraine people, they really have stood together and fought to protect their own. That's one of the headlines there about that there.
I think his people, the Ukrainian president or whatever, his people were going to meet, try to have talks again with Russia today. I think they were talking about it was going to be in Belarus or somewhere.
It was.
And but I know there's been a lot of people who said they don't need to meet there because it is not a safe area.
Well, there's even word that we may be closing our little facility there and bailing out of there, our embassy. I've heard that. Now, I don't know whether, do you do this? I don't have an opinion on this, and I'll read you the headline. Biden has canceled the test of a nuclear missile because he doesn't want to make it look like it's a threat to Putin. They were going to test something, and he's called it off. Is that a sign of weakness of doing that, or a smart move not to test something while something weird is going on?
I don't know.
I don't have an opinion on that. I truly don't. I don't know what to think. But that happened. He's not testing it anymore. How do I think Trump would have handled it? He would have tested it and go, after he done it. I think that's how he would have done that. I don't believe this. The headline that says, Putin has no idea what's coming. Biden said that many times the other night in the speech of the people, and this man is not scared of sanctions. Now, as you pointed out, he's got other people that will finance him should things go south.
Yeah. And I don't doubt would probably step in to help him Right. I mean, I don't know that, but that's
Here's
the
a
scary thing. They've got the biggest army in the world, right? China does.
They do. It's big. I don't know whether to believe this, but you know, the outspoken girl, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says that Biden is being blackmailed by what was on that computer by Russia.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt anything.
Again, I have no way to back that up, but that's what Marjorie says is going on in Washington. I think there's a big chance that there's a lot of folks in Washington that might be doing that, going, hey, I need a favor. Y'all know what I mean. It's there. As we turn our thoughts to Snowden and Company, well, homes is what they do, and they do it very well. They're based right here in Lauderdale County, and they take care of so many different places that adjoin our counties. Clark, Kemper, all around, all the way through Jackson, they do this. Many people use them, from sellers to buyers that are looking for that home. They have so much to choose from. As Leslie and Donna and Amanda were chosen by you, and the People's Choice Award is being the best of what they do. And they are. Find out how to get your dream home found with them. You can scroll through at snowdenrealestate.com. You can pick up the phone and call them at 453-3937. They'll be there till 5 o'clock this afternoon. They're going to be closed on Saturday, and then you can set it up by appointment, not open at all on Sunday. From double wides to homes with land, maybe you just need land. They've got that also. Find out why so many people choose Snowden and Company Real Estate. You'll see them there. It's Amanda and her gang, designated seller, and that's all of her people that help her every day. 453-3937. Visit them. Get your next home or sell your home with them. You'll be glad that you did.
It happened so fast. I didn't even see that person behind me. I said, well, I need to call Richard Swartz. Once I made that one call, they began working for me. They are going to make sure you get what you deserve.
One call, that's all.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And Google says you ain't staying at home no more. And I know in the memo they didn't say ain't, but I think on the phone they used that word. Yeah. You're coming back to work by April the 4th to the office. So another U.S. company going, well, it's time to get back to work and be normal again. Yeah. That's going to be happening there.
I think a lot of people have done that.
Beginning the 21st, and I almost always hate to see what doesn't matter what side of the fence, but the Supreme Court Justice has been nominated. All of this will begin on the 21st, and they're never polite or nice by any means. Yeah. I can't pronounce her first name, but Ketanji. Miss Brown is going to be headed to Washington, and all this will be beginning there the 21st. So expect that to be nonstop television interviews. And what she might have done or did not do in the past. That always happens.
It says that the Democrats say that they are not going to treat her like Kavanaugh was treated.
Oh, you know they're not.
Yeah, so, and they don't usually
and
lean
typically
in that direction,
Republicans don't, well, they're not, it's one of their own, the Democrats, but the Republicans usually aren't as hard. Sometimes they're called weak. They don't do enough. Maybe a bunch of them said that they had an answer to Obamacare, and then, well, guess what? They didn't. Y'all remember that? It was everybody that ran for office there a while. Get rid of Obamacare. We got a plan. They got in there and they done absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I hadn't forgotten. Have you? What is one of the biggest businesses that are booming in the United States right now? Take a wild guess.
Let me think. I don't know.
It's right in front of you. Yep. Bunkers, Doomsday Bunkers, you know, where you bury them underground. A Texas company says it is humongous.
Let me just say, when I was looking at storm shelter things a while back, it led me to this.
Yeah.
You would not believe these people just, I mean, you live underground, basically. You have bedrooms, you have a bathroom.
Yeah.
You have, like, areas that you can grow plants in with, like, the grow lights and the raised bed things where you can, I mean,
well, this is
it's just like a home.
Pictures of one right here.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks normal, but that's way underground. I even saw last week where a nuclear fallout shelter sold for like $3 million. It wasn't bad. It was solid concrete, miles underground. That was used to be a government thing. But these began, price range, maybe it fits in your budget, maybe it doesn't. I'd have to be on the low end of this. $40,000 is a starting spot for a bunker underground, up to $8.5 million.
I would think that would probably be more the higher end. But
I've heard of people taking school buses, dropping them, burying those. A lot of people have done things of that nature. But that is a booming business, and they can also, as you point out, be used as a storm shelter. That's what makes them popular in the South.
Well, if you get on site, start looking, you'd be amazed at the people who have these things.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that it would not be a good thing to have. I think it would be. If you can afford it. Not everybody could afford something like that.
Oh, no. But it's big business if you're selling them. We found out yesterday that a soccer player was found deceased in her apartment, 22 years old. They don't expect foul play, but they're not telling how she passed away. 22 years old. It was at Stanford. She was on the soccer team there. And Kate was her name, as we pull up a quick picture of her. Sad. I'm sure that there's more to come on this in upcoming days as to what happened to her.
Yeah.
But 22 years old, that's not common for you to pass away of just natural causes. Yeah. They didn't imply that it was self-inflicted. They didn't say anything. But the only thing they said was they didn't think it was foul play. Now, what happens when your mama sues you?
That would be bad. That would be bad.
Does the name Rick Harrison ring a bell? Yeah. Pawn Stars. And Rick goes, wait a minute. I know this is all in the news that my mom is suing me. He goes, but it's being blown out of proportion. She is 81 years old. And back in around 2000, somewhere around there was a deal made between him and his father and her, and the business was signed over to him in some shape, form, or way. And he is saying that she is being surrounded by people that are money hungry now, and getting her to do things that she's really not aware of is going on. And that can happen.
Yeah.
And so
is the dad still alive?
I think the old man passed away.
Okay.
His dad did.
I'd seen him in a lot of the episodes. That's why I was wondering. And I'd never seen the mother.
Yeah, she's, to my knowledge, never been on there. But he says it is people preying upon his mother, getting her to do things that she's really not aware of. So don't take it for what it's worth, is what Rick says. He seems like, in all his interviews, that he's a pretty good old boy.
Yeah, he seems like he would be down to earth. Now,
Chumley, I'm not so sure about.
Yeah, that's what I was just fixing to say. Now, I'd be questioning the Chumley guy, but he's not a family member, is he?
No, he just works there.
Yeah, and he lost a bunch of weight.
He did.
Yeah.
And he's made a lot of money off of that show. And the illusion that store is huge is false. I've never been there. But I've had so many people say that they've been there, and it's like a box.
Like a little small store.
Yeah. I imagine real estate in that town is some kind of expensive.
I've seen people get so aggravated, though, when they take their stuff in there thinking it's worth millions, and they're like, $50.
Yeah.
Really? $50.
It's really a spinoff to a degree of the Antiques Roadshow. And that is, I'm not going to lie, when it comes on, I'll sit there and watch that of what people drag out of their attic that their great-grandma had.
Right.
Sometimes it's worth a whole lot of money.
Well, and two, you got to think it's a place that's buying it from you that's going to resell it. So they got to make money. Yeah. They're not going to give you every little bit of what it's worth. I wouldn't. They got
to stay in business, pay the lights.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of people that don't. I'll just keep it then.
Yeah, Denise said that her mother is 84 and can be persuaded by other people. They do. That's what goes on, and they don't know what they're. Here, sign this for me.
Right. Just like computer stuff. People can be taken in saying, "Oh, I noticed your computer needs to be updated, or it needs to be doing this or that."
Yeah. They'll do that. That's a few of the things shaping. We got more on the way, so don't be rushing off nowhere. We got 6 minutes at least left here to talk to you about things that are going on in the community.
We can fit all kind of information in 6 minutes.
We sure can. Let's talk about Maple's one-stop shop and what they've got going on today, and that's either breakfast or lunch. Well, that's going to happen down at the St. Paul store. Breakfast is on the table. If you're hungry now, swing in. Take a look at that menu there from eggs and bacon. And, oh, boy. And pricing, that's not bad at all. So you can get a biscuit for $1.39, and out the door you go. The breakfast special, only $4.99. Eggs, grits, meat, and a biscuit.
That's right.
Pretty good.
It's a good deal. And if you wasn't hungry before you got there, you will be before you leave.
Yeah. Come lunchtime. Today is Thursday, so let's look here. We're having pulled pork today, barbecue chicken, potato salad, mac and cheese, baked beans, turnip, collard greens. Wow. Green beans and roll or cornbread.
Goodness.
That's
all
there.
I get a lunch plate.
And that's all for $8.99.
That's a good deal, a really good deal.
Meat and 2 sides and a glass of sweet tea to head out the door.
That's great. Yesterday, I went somewhere and paid $6 and something for a biscuit and a drink.
Yeah, you're not going to happen there.
Everything's going up. This is a good deal. You need to go by there.
Loyalty coffee program. Your 6 cup is absolutely free. Blue Moon. Check it out there. Drinks and a whole lot more. Of course, pizza.
Pizza, a drink, and a bag of chips.
$4.99. See them there. They've got exactly what you want from anywhere from the Bonita, Pine Springs, Causeyville, and also Last Chance, Broadmoor, and 31st Avenue Chevron. All there at Maple's One Stop Shop. See them today.
No matter what hat you wear, if you're hurt on the job, you're gonna need me. We've helped thousands of our injured clients get their medical bills paid and recover lost wages. And we're ready to help do the same for you today. One call, that's all.
The back porch of Meridian is now open on Highway 19. Anything outdoors. Grills, fryers, pellets. And all grills come with free assembly. Whether you're looking for a cooler or custom woodwork. Plus local beef, milk and ice cream from Beeson, products from Cycles Mills, spices, and a whole lot more. And don't forget to check out the She Shed, where you'll find authentic Louis Vuitton purses and more. And we can't leave out the spoon fudge. The back porch, Highway 19 North Meridian. And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we near the top of the hour. Again, remember, it's going to be nice weather today. Almost 80 degrees is what we're going to be getting.
I can see it. Everything's going to start blooming out, and then we're going to have a cold snap around Easter or something and kill everything.
Yeah. Do you remember 18 dozen years ago the name Joey Buttafuoco?
Yes.
Did I say that? She's still out there, his wife.
Mary Jo.
And it's been 30 years. She says she doesn't want any poor, pitiful me stories, and she's just out of the spotlight, minding her own business. First time I've heard that name brought up in forever. A Quiet Life in California.
Yeah, she got shot in the face, right?
Yeah, by the girlfriend.
Yeah, of her husband, Joey Buttafuoco.
He wasn't the girl, if I
She
remember.
was just a teen.
Yeah.
She was real young, and shot her in the face.
And it goes with the headline that I covered this morning at 6:30 in Jackson, Mississippi. And the headline read, girlfriend shot by wife and drive-by.
Oh, goodness.
Nothing like your wife meeting your girlfriend. I didn't think it'd be a drive-by, but that did happen in Jackson, Mississippi. Although it's not funny, it is funny. Just the headline of that.
Yeah.
Don't take matters into your homeland like that, into your own
Don't
hands.
go with somebody's husband. That'd be your first good choice.
Here's some. You're right. Yeah. Stop all that, you bad folks out there.
That's right.
A lady got mad at her boyfriend, and this was in Florida, and she threw his dog off 7 stories out the balcony. The pup didn't make it. She's been arrested for animal cruelty.
Sorry.
She'd been drinking and got mad at him.
That's awful, though.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's having a birthday today.
Oh. I'll let you announce that one there.
Chris Reed, happy birthday.
Well, I didn't realize
How old Chris is.
I know exactly how old Chris is. He is 52.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm told there. Yeah. It doesn't, on his page there, it doesn't show his age and birthday and all that stuff. But
Well, we hope he has a wonderful birthday today.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Go out and do something useful there, Chris. I talked to Chris yesterday. He's doing real good. Let's see some other things that are still in the news for today. Dr. Seuss, we got just enough time to quickly mention this. They're really just trying to rewrite everything that goes on with Dr. Seuss. They're changing the pictures.
Which makes it not Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. And it was this week, it was Dr. Seuss's birthday. And people have been going around reading the children. And I should have got you to read one of the books of Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, we've read them. They can be a little complicated to read at times.
Yeah.
Little tongue
Twisters.
Yeah. But yeah, that's ridiculous, I think. I think it's just another giving in to people stomping their foot, wanting their way. So,
but redoing the pictures. And we see this with Disney all the time, redoing things. The Shape of America. Again, if you've got something that's going on in the community and we don't know about it, let us know. We'd love to talk about your community announcement. You can inbox it, send to us, and we'll be glad to talk about that as well.
that's right.
As we near the end of our show this morning, thank you for coming by.
We hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sunshine. It's going to be warm and spring-like today. So Get in your yard and work.
What was that song? I got sunshine on a cloudy day. My girl, that was it.
Yeah, my girl.
Enjoy yourself. We're coming back tomorrow morning bright and early, beginning at 8 a.m. Again, we'll break in with any news that happens today. And thank you for being a part of our show.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by